Yo, GM. What is going on, everybody? What the heck is going on with Twitter Spaces? How is this not working? This is crazy. How are some people able to get in and others not? That's so nutty. So on my main phone, my main account, the Twitter Space logo doesn't even show up. Doesn't even show up at all. But on my other phone and some other alt accounts that I have, it does show up. But I still get that same message that everyone's getting. Let's pull it up. This was from last night. Couldn't get in last night. Still can't get in today. Everybody's having that same problem. But what's it saying? It's saying unable to join this space. Spaces isn't available on this device yet, but we're working on it. Check out at Twitter Spaces to stay up to date. Come on, Uncle Elon, help us out, man. Come on, man. Anyway, we're gonna get through this. We're gonna have a good time. GM, everybody, thank you for hopping on over here to YouTube. Hey, it is what it is, right? Like, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna keep the positivity train going? How are we gonna keep the messages rolling if they don't shut us down? So hey, guess what? We'll just shift it on over to your YouTube, and that's what we did. Now, if anybody is interested and you want to be a part of the conversation today, shoot me. Either you can in the chat say it, or you know what? I actually don't care. I'm going to do this because y'all are so cool. I'm going to take the StreamYard link. I wonder if it's even going to let me put it in the chat. This may be a horrible idea. It may be an amazing idea. We'll see. All right, there it is, guys. There's the StreamYard link. It is posted in the chat. If you want to come up and be a part of the conversation today, because again, that's what I love about what Twitter Space allows, is that it's a community conversation. It's not just one dude just talking to people. But no, I prepared a show. So I prepared an entire kind of what I used to do over with Meta Money. You know, we could do some house cleaning, we can get through some things, and then boom, get through some numbers. We can look at CoinMarketCap, then we can look at TradingView at the ETH chart. Tell you what, does not look good today. But yesterday we did see that there was a couple days of some pretty good action, but the down today. I'll tell you that. We'll get to that in a second. And then we can look over at NFTgo.io, check out some NFT action, see what's hot, see what's not. I wonder how that Donald Trump thing, he already made like $4.4 million in just a little bit of time yesterday, which is nutty. My wife actually kept asking. She asked me 4 or 5 times last night, did you buy the NFT? Did you buy the Donald Trump NFT? I said, yeah, I'll think about it. I just, whatever. It's not really my thing. So if I don't want to spend the ETH on it, I'm not going to. And so I didn't want to. There's other things. I bought a crypto dad instead. Let's take a look at that here. This is what I got. I joined the crypto dads. I figured that's one that I had been looking at for a long time, actually, and I kind of felt like I'd gotten priced out like a bunch of months ago. But things were looking a little bit better, and I put a post out to see if the community was still active. And I'll tell you what, they responded, and they responded well. And so we went in, and so I got this man bun, neck tatted, drooling dude. You know what's funny is that I'm going to Disney with my entire family, all my siblings, my mom, my siblings, all my nieces and nephews, my family, my wife and daughter. And so we're going to Disney for one of my nieces. She's singing at all the parks, and we're going over New Year's. So we'll be there like the 28th through like the 2nd. Oh, my dude Turbo just popped in the studio. Let's see. What's up, my man?
Yo, what's up, Jay Chase? But what are they trying to do to you, man? You had too much positivity going on. They're trying to shut you down, fam. That's messed up.
I tell you what, man, nobody can shut us down. Like, look at this. We can shift over here. We can get people up. You can be part of the conversation, and we're just not going to stop. We're not going to let, if Twitter's going to have problems with space for a while, I tell you what, we can do it here. So we are right now. We're actually streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and we are streaming on Twitter. But we just can't access spaces. So, it is what it is. But what's up, my man? Thank you for joining me.
Yo, most definitely, man. Most definitely. I get up early, to make sure to make it to the show. I think it's important to be here. Consistency, finding a way. Unruggable, baby. That's what this space is about. That's what's important. So, to be here to support, man, that's what it's all about.
That's it, man. That's what we're doing here, and the community supports each other, and I support you, man, and I appreciate. You know, you sent me a video clip, and you were the first one to send anything in yesterday, based on that assignment of spreading the positivity. So I appreciate that, man. Like, you know, it's people that want to be active, it's people that want to be doing things, and participating. I tell you what, like, you know, the squad that I'm building, you know, people that want to participate, they're gonna move fast through some things. So I appreciate you, dude. And like, even like just popping in and saying like, listen, like, hey, we are unruggable, and you're proving it.
Yeah, man, most definitely. You know, that's it. You know, it's the only way. You know, we have a big mission. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you talk about the Donald Trump NFTs. You know, some of the other things that are out there. Love the crypto dads. You know what I'm saying? My homie little Dilf over there. You know what I'm saying? He's been working with their camp for a long time. I know. I think I actually have a meeting with one of their founders on Sunday. I believe they got some other stuff they're working on. You know, just an absolutely great community, man, over there. Honestly.
Yeah, and so, you know, even in just because, again, I it was one of those communities that I had want to get into a while back, and finally, you know, pulled the trigger, was able to pull the trigger on it last night. But you know, when the community responded, you know, I just wanted to see if they are still active, they're still doing things right. And again, the response was overwhelmingly awesome. And you know, they said they've got a beer, I think there's some whiskey partnerships, you know, they're doing a lot of other things throughout the space and upcoming. And like, man, I'm really excited to hop into this one and see, because like, again, it's in real life, I am a dad and I'm into crypto, and so this is like, it resonates like so much. And you know, like, it may be like foofy or frilly or whatever people think, but you know, like, you know, it's one of those things. If it resonates so well and it means a lot, like, you know, I'll probably be a valued member of the community because I'll be active in it, because you know, it's like it's my life.
No, man, most definitely. I mean, and that's the thing, man. Like I keep telling people, man, like everyone's kind of talking about how the PFPs, you know, will probably be dead going into 2023. I mean, I strongly believe that we haven't even began to scratch the surface. Yeah, yeah, baby. Go ahead, change them up. I seen it back there. Hey.
There we
Uh,
go.
but yeah, you know, the thing is, like with PFPs, man, I think it's gonna be a huge shift. You know what I'm saying, to where people really realize what the PFP actually, you know, signifies. I mean, that's how we identify each other when you're a part
Mhm.
of good, you know, good projects and stuff. I mean, with the Royal Dreads project, I mean, that's the one thing we really want people to wear it as a badge of honor. You know, to really be like, this is who I am. You know, this is who I represent. This is, you know, what's important to me. And so I think when people really get on the PFPs, like with you and the crypto dads, right? Yo, I'm a dad, I'm a girl dad. This represents me. When I see other crypto dads, it's an easy, you know, it's easy to start the conversation. We both have something in common. And so I hope to see more of that kind of moving into the future when the PFP, you know, represents an amazing community that's active and working, not just, you know, look at me, I got an expensive PFP, you know. So
Right. Well, you know, it's like it's the country club, right? And I think there's you know, some people will put it into the frame of thought where, like, you know, it's like the fraternity, and I'm like, well, you know, as an older guy, like, you know, I'm not too excited about being in a fraternity. But if you tell me it's like the country club, then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You know, like, that makes a lot more sense. And like, you know, that those are the things that I'm excited about. You know, like when you say like, there's an in real life crypto dad event, like literally, like probably 9 times out of 10, most of these guys are going to be dads as well. So like, again, you have like instantly something that you have a connection that is similar, and the icebreaker is like already done for you.
yeah, man, and two, you know, like you know, being a dad is, you know, like it's such a part of our lives, but there's so much more that also goes into that. You know, I was just sharing the other day, you know, I grew up without a dad, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, for me, like I'm looking at other dads like yourself, you know, dads across the board, you know, Fiddy, you know, he got his daughter, you know, that's constantly coming into spaces, you know, other dads, and you know, we all learn from each other, you know what I'm saying? Because you know, some of us kind of grew up in that lost generation where like our parents were working. You know, my mom worked like 3 jobs, you know, to make sure to put it together. My real dad just wasn't around. So having a group of dads together, you know what I mean? So we can share ideas and be like, yo, this is what's really been working for me. Or man, I had this moment with my child, you know, and it didn't quite go the way I wanted it to, you know, and we get to talk about those things because it's important.
Yeah, yeah, no, 100%. Oh man, let's go back. Let's take a look at this again. This is frustrating. Oh, how do I get? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Get you in there. How can they do that to us, man? How can they how does so let's think about this, right? And again, we got the opportunity to pop here on YouTube. So the show goes on. Again, we can't be stopped. But for some people who, if this is their livelihood and maybe they didn't have the opportunity to set up a YouTube, or they're not on another platform, how does this story go? And this is centralization, right? And I get, Elon's trying to make Twitter Web3 friendly, but at the end of the day, this is what happens with centralization.
I think that with stuff like this, these are great times, for everyone to be like, okay, I need to be able to pivot and to be able to shift, because these other tools and avenues are out there. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a good reminder that, don't get too comfortable. Complacency is what kills the guys on the battlefield. It's those small things, they're not looking out for. And it's just, being able to pivot, and I think with, you're kind of already ahead of the game on that, going to Twitch, going to YouTube, allowing those people that enjoy that to be able to go there to see it, but then can be involved in on the Twitter. You know what I'm saying? I think you're already kind of ahead of the game on that. But for those who weren't, this is a great opportunity to figure it out. Get in the DMs, ask questions, watch some YouTube videos, what I'm saying, on how to get these things up. Because a lot of it's free, it doesn't cost anything.
No, not at all. For me, to be able to do this multi-stream thing, so I use StreamYard, and I don't know what it was. It was maybe like $150 for the year, right? So it's really, it's not very cost prohibitive, but to be able to be on multiple platforms in case one goes down, but still have your community be able to find you and get that access is great. But it does beg the question of, are we going to see a decentralized internet, for real? And to kind of answer that question myself, and then I kind of want to hear your take on this. The other day I was invited into a call, and I didn't know what to expect. I actually didn't even know what it was, but somebody had texted me, somebody that I respect in this industry, said, "Hey, are you available in 20 minutes for a call?" And I said, "Absolutely." And so I hopped in, and it was a webinar, and it was with a really well-respected scientist in his industry, and he's creating this amazing base new solution, this decentralized internet. And so you have a browser capability, you've got chat, you've got video call function, you have a crypto wallet, and everything that you do, every file that you send, every email that you send, everything is on the blockchain. So there's the ledger of literally everything. If I were to send you a PDF file, that takes place on the blockchain, so it's provable. But it's not Amazon Web Services, and it's not Google Cloud.
I mean, it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be really tough to beat those guys out. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to that whole Maya. You know what I mean? I was listening to a TED Talk, and they were talking about for things to take hold, if you really want to create that disruptive innovation, it really takes that Maya, the most advanced yet acceptable, and Amazon and these other companies that hold, so many people that, that's what they're used to, that's what they enjoy to be a part of. So that's where they're going to go. They're going to go right back to that because it's common to them. So if I can move forward, but still stick with something that I'm used to or I feel comfortable with, people are going to do it. And some of those things we need for adoption, we need those things for adoption because they're names that people already know, so when we look at something brand new, I think it's going to take some of the OGs, you know what I'm saying? Some of the kind of the pioneers to get in there, be involved, be a part of it, and then to be able to get somebody and then be able to bring the people that are on the Amazon Web Service and these other platforms and start to bring them over. Just ease of access. We were talking about the internet yesterday and how easy the internet was. And I remember as a kid, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I didn't read anything. I just jumped on and just started clicking buttons and the shit worked. You know what I'm saying? So that's once we get to that in the whole Web3, where it's more of that click and things happen and is not as much of hell, the only thing we had to worry about with the AOL was that pinball game that would put the viruses on your computer if you downloaded the pinball game, So and that's kind of
God, man, so it was the pinball game I remember playing. That was Minesweeper was another one.
Worm or a snake.
Oh golly, man! These things were revolutionary for their time.
Yo, Minecraft, or not Minecraft, but Minesweeper, that game was really dope. If you actually went and put the flags down and you did all the little clicks and you plotted out your land, that's actually a pretty cool game.
I mean, like that was like, I want to say probably my earliest introduction to anything computer related was that stuff. And I don't remember how old I actually was when, whatever school I was in. And I remember like having to go to computer class as like a little kid. I just don't remember how old it was. And they were just like these old apples. And there, man, it's just so interesting how far like this stuff has come along in just my lifetime, and just think about where we're going. I mean, and that's the question, and like, or I guess that's really the conversation is like, think about how much technology has changed in our lifetime in probably in the last 20 years for me specifically, right? Where do you think it's going to be in the next 20 years now that we're, the metaverse is an actual like conversation?
Yeah, I think I think what's really exciting is how open-minded people are now. You know what I'm saying? Versus like my parents, you know what I'm saying? Even like computer games and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, like don't sit too close to the TV. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't spend all this time doing this. Well, now like our Oculus, like the screen's like literally on my eyeballs. You know what I'm saying? So like all of these things that are constantly changing, we're moving forward, these new ideologies and ways to interact and all of this. I think for our generation, I feel like we're very open-minded, and that's what's really going to project us even further, especially as we become more all-inclusive, really opening up. We had last night, we had Frieza on, and he's an openly gay musician. You know what I'm saying? And he stands to it. And we had this really beautiful conversation because there's so many people who live in such a closed society, right? And so they're thinking like, well, why does it matter? Why does it have to be gay musician? Well, there's a whole group of people that he's making music for that all have the same ideology, the same ideas, and there's something special that's being shared. They're allowed to have that. It doesn't, as a heterosexual male, it doesn't affect my life. I can go and I can enjoy that and be there with them to whenever I want. I can leave, I can come back and be involved in that. And I think that that's what's going to make the whole all inclusive thing amazing, right? That we have an opportunity to be involved and to step out and to be involved. You know what I mean? So I think that's exciting.
Kind of what you said there a second ago. I was like right on board with what you're saying. Like, why does it have to be, like the label the musician, like, what that was. And you have to think like, because I'm of the same camp, like, why do we have to bring up the attention to it? Like, it's just a musician. Like, who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, love is love at this point. Like, let's just get over it. Like, let's just move on. But at the same point, giving the audience their sense of, hey, maybe this is something that resonates with them, and gives them maybe more freedom or more strength or courage to do something that they need to in their life, because like, oh shit, okay, because he's this vocal about it, maybe my life can improve because of it. So I think, maybe it's not so much about the self-serving aspect, and I'm not saying that it is, but it's more about, serving the community and giving them, whether it's a leader or a voice or strength to come from within.
Yeah, and it was beautiful, man, because I was in that same place. I know we share a lot of the same, ideas and stuff. But when you really kind of step back, and you just allow people to have that space, you know what I'm saying? And just kind of like take the emotion out of it, right? And just be there listening subjectively. I think it added a lot, you know what I'm saying? Just even to my perspective, with a lot of things that we're going to be moving into in this Web3. I mean, all inclusive means everybody gets to be involved. Everybody gets to bring their pieces. Everybody gets to have, their thing, as long as it's not, like forced upon others or, harming or any of this stuff. I mean, all these new ideas and stuff are going to come in because we're connecting with people all over the world. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so all these different traditions and things that are right or wrong are going to be thrown in this pot, and we're going to be having these conversations. So I think it's just something to kind of keep front of mind, when the things that we say, what we want to do to help each other, and just being involved.
That, and like, let's take the conversation to like the inclusivity of, kind of where like the conversation's going, the narrative going. I mean, and I just got done being in Miami. We were at the Women of Web3 Summit, and in that, that's the whole, part of that narrative is just giving everyone a voice. Yes, women absolutely need to be as equally in charge, in the C suites, building all that stuff, as it's just it doesn't matter, and that's the cool thing about Web3. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are. In my opinion, it's just about your contribution. I think that's the credit that you earn in this ecosystem, is your contribution, which is cool. Like that's. And if you want to just be here and be here, like you can do that, but like you can't like complain. I use that word, and it's probably not the right word to use. You can't be vocal if you're not taking any action.
No, I mean, for sure. I mean, even like when you began this space, talking about the crypto dads, being a dad, you know what I'm saying? We need to have more dad spaces. I mean, we need to have time where just dads get together, you know what I'm saying? And, like in that we can interact and, and figure out like what's going on and share ideas and emotions and these things just as much as everybody else, you know what I'm saying? And once, once you kind of have the tribes and people are able to share, when we're able to take those passionate and those conversations and bring them, to our bigger communities, right? Because I kind of imagine Web3 is like a giant circle, right? Here's kind of the whole thing, and then it'll get smaller, and then it'll get smaller. And even one of my biggest fears in all of this is that, for the first time ever, we're going to have all of the best wheel makers in the same tribe, all the best, cooks, all the best, everybody in these small tribes. And I wonder, like how it will affect the advancement, right? Like, are they all just going to be sitting there with the same problems because they all share the same passions and the same concepts and ideas? Or are we going to see this huge boom, like in, technology just exploding? I think it's going to be really interesting. But for people to be able to take and have these very intimate conversations with people who are like very parallel and direct, I think it will speed the conversation. We just have to be able to take those conversations and bring them to a larger audience when, that want to accept those conversations, right? So that we can all continue to advance and grow together.
Yeah. Well, basically, in my opinion, about what you just said, is I think if we could get people to push egos aside, we could see that boom. And I think that's the whole point of like decentralization, and whether it's egos, greed, whatever. If we could figure out how to cut past that, and really just come together, and like you said, we've got some of the most brilliant minds in each field, and if we could figure that out, man, like I'll tell you what, you talk about a boom, baby, let's go. Like, even just look, I've even just having a conversation with 4 or 5 people that are very intelligent at a high level, I think that we can solve problems that some you could get in a group of 100 legislators, and then they would take a month to even decide to start how to move forward with the conversation, whereas people just want to get to it, and I really hope, again, to finalize and to reconfirm what you just said, if we can all just come together and figure out how to do that and push the egos, push the greed, figure out that unity, right? That positive unity. I'll tell you what, man, we're going to make a change.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I mean, that's it, and you're doing it right now, Jay. You know what I'm saying? That's why I want to be here to support.
We are.
Well, no,
we are.
I mean, I understand the we thing, but that you have to take a moment to really appreciate the I, right? Because like you have to make that step. You had to get on. You had to take these skills and sets that you had, right? So, okay, hey, for the greater good of everybody, we're gonna have a Twitch, we're gonna have a YouTube, we're gonna have a Twitter space, and then the very next day they shut down Twitter Spaces. If you had to take in that first step, right, and said, okay, hey, look, I'm doing this for the greater good of my entire community, for all of us, right? We wouldn't be here right now. We'd all be stuck. We'd all be sitting on Twitter like, oh, I can't, I'm unable to get on Twitter Spaces. You know what I'm saying? So it is important, right? Like we need that, because opening up the doors, for the newcomers, right? All these people that have been adopted, and there's all these beautiful minds that are coming in. When I first came into the space, I got into a space with a very large NFT group. And that was the one thing I asked them, like, man, how could I be involved in this great thing that you have? Because the cost, the barrier of entry is so far away now, you know what I'm saying? Not at any fault of my own or whatever, but I have no way to ever be able to get into this now. And so now you're pushing out all these great minds and these leaders that can really add a lot of value, you know what I'm saying? But there's no way for us to get in. And they were just kind of like, you should have been here, And so yeah. I think with what I see you creating, with Chris and Fully Vox, and getting to meet you guys, and to know it's exciting because this is what we need to continue to push this conversation, to be able to have an open place for people to come into, so that we can truly reach this thing this thing that we want to create. So, I really appreciate you, Jay, for real.
I appreciate that. It's very kind of you to say. And I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. Like, yeah, literally, I'm nothing without anybody else, without the community. So, and just to reciprocate that, that gratitude, like, I appreciate, you being here. I appreciate anybody that's listening, anybody that wants to be a part of the conversation, anybody that wants to be building, anybody that wants to be here right now. You're not forced to be here. You may be down some ETH, you may be down some whatever, but you're not forced to be here. And so those are the people that we want to be working with and building with, because it's the special minds and talent that are going to build this ecosystem the right way. So, the show goes on. Twitter Space is down. Hopefully it'll be back up next week, but it is what it is. And if it's YouTube and we got to keep pushing YouTube for a while, I will just literally start tweeting out the links to the StreamYard every morning, and anybody that wants to join, just much like a Twitter Space, like it's free to anybody to join. Like, even if you don't like me, you can still join the Twitter Space. And so, hey, I'll just post the link to StreamYard every day, and we'll just keep the show rolling until Space is back, and we'll just keep rolling. That's it. That's all we can do.
I love that, man. I love that. Like I said, man, you're a great leader. I actually got to jump, man. I got a buddy of mine to help me knock out a couple of things before our big Christmas parties and stuff. It's the holidays coming up, man. So I really appreciate you, Jay. Everything. I'm always going to be here. Appreciate it. All the listeners that are out there, get involved. You know what I'm saying? Join the link. You know what I'm saying? Be a part of the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just sitting back talking about all the things that you wish you would have done or could do or all this, just do it. Take action. And so I appreciate you, Jay, so much, man. Thank you to everybody that tuned in, and I'll catch you on the next one.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon, man. Thank you so much for joining us. All right. Turbo made it. Cool dude. I like Turbo. We had fun hanging out in Miami. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna check some comment section here. We got some crypto dads in the house. Let's go. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. I certainly appreciate you. Let's throw a little we throw a little background music down there. My crypto dad's in the house. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Let's pull that sucker up again. I think he's a funny looking, and I think I was telling the story right before Turbo popped in. But so we're going to Disney for the New Year holiday and stuff, and so it just so happens that my crypto dad has this little thing right there, this little tattoo. I think that's pretty funny. I'm not a Disney guy at all. It's not my thing. I got some sisters that is their thing. My mother, it's her thing. Me and my wife, not a thing. But we're going to hang out with the fam, which I am so excited about, because again, I got a daughter. She's like 14 months old, a little bit older than that, and we got a ton of cousins for her to hang out with. This will be the first time that she's hanging out with them. Oh, Chris has popped in. Let's bring him up. And this will be the first time that she is going to get a chance to hang out with all of her cousins. So I'm excited for her to learn, hang, and just like interact. What is up, Chris?
I don't think any of my stuff has worked. This is Couch Chris. This is the Chris that shouldn't be on live streams. I don't have a fancy background.
This is like not normal man. Chris. That's all right. This is just normal life, man. Look, I don't have my makeup on. I got the camera zoomed out a little bit, and it's things are different. But hey,
what do you think about when people join a live stream and their camera's like up in their face, and you're like, back it up, bro. You're freaking me out. Here's a tip for everybody: don't join live streams looking like this.
No, it's all good, man. We're just regular people up here, man. Just living the Web3 life. Just want to engage in conversation and keep it going. And it doesn't matter if you put your makeup on or not. You can still be in your jammies. I'm still in my jammies. I don't have a shirt on.
I have legit jammies. Look at this. They're like the jammy looking jammies. That's what's up.
Hey, if it's, and especially like in December, man, because most of the time, you sleep in shorts, whatever. But in December, especially around the holidays, man, if you got those plaid, if you got those snowflake, whatever you got, you're wearing that shit in December. Don't lie to us.
Hey, what do you think Clubhouse's chance are of getting some market share back for about 24 hours?
Some people will. I've deleted the app at this point, so that's why I'm here. And I never again. It was the whole having to rebuild your community is what really annoyed me about Clubhouse. That's
Yeah.
the worst thing about joining a new social media platform is you have to
Well,
rebuild.
I'm seeing the people from Clubhouse that were such a big deal. They were such early movers and arbitraged massive audiences. And then if they go anywhere else, I'm like, where's your audience, bro? Where's your audience? So I'll pop in there today and maybe do a little live stream with some of the Clubhouse people and be like, hey, now's your chance. Start migrating to Twitter. Well,
just come over now. Come over. You know what? And yesterday, and somebody had a comment on my tweet, on some tweet that I'd made about it not working. Because yesterday I talked up Twitter Space so much. I was so bullish on Twitter Space yesterday, and then just rugged.
Yep. Well, I will say I'm gonna hop off because Couch Chris isn't helping the quality of the stream here. But
no. I think it's really important. I want to talk to you about what we did yesterday. That was a lot of fun. And just if you guys are watching and you don't know who Chris is a content creator, super dope. Him and I actually had a call yesterday. We pretend we made a YouTube thumbnail. Chris thinks that I'm a really good thumbnail maker for some reason. I'm not sure why, but so we did like this thing where we did a StreamYard, and we made a thumbnail for a doxing video, and it was a requested dox. Like he was interviewing somebody that wanted to show their face for the first time, and so we made this thumbnail. It was my creativity, but Chris did all the action on his end, and we made this thumbnail for your video. How did the shoot go?
It was good, but you know what happened? The beginning of the rugging of Twitter Spaces, I couldn't do my space. So I actually have a video of me hitting start room like 5 times in a row and it just looping over and being like, nope, you can't. So, but it was a great interview. And like our call, doing that thumbnail, that's going to live on the courses and just show people what it looks like to like how you come up, how you iterate, how you start from a blank screen and actually make something out of nothing. You know what the funniest thing is? When I went to post it to the video, I realized the file that we made was only like 300 pixels wide. So I had to redo it all in like a bigger format, and the size was all wrong. So, but I mean, everything came out looking great. And it was like, I was telling John, it was a look that I would have never done myself. And I loved it. I thought it looked so cool. And that's because fun. I had your input and even John's input after, and was like changing the stroke a little bit on this and changing the drop shadow a little on that. It came out cool. And it was like a good learning experience, even for me. And I've made a million thumbnails. So it was cool.
It's just fun, right? It was a fun little exercise. I had a good time doing it. And your thing is Shredditor, right? So that's the what you're building. And right. Real quick before you go, just a little bit about it. What is it?
Sure. Yeah. So a few years ago, a buddy of mine, his name's Sean Cannell. He has a company called Think Media. And this guy, he would say nice things about me and my company, Flyride, and how I was using, like all doing the YouTube videos and the social media and different revenue streams and all this stuff. And he would always prop up Flyride. And I'm like, man, I care more about content creation. Flyride was about cars. And he would talk about that. And he would always say that there's this term for people who can do the stuff that I was doing, that they could shoot a video, they can edit a video, they could produce. And if you put those words together, shoot, edit, produce, you actually get the kind of person you get is a Shredditor. It's a person who can do all of it, right? And then there's all these extra business development things that really play into all that too. And when I found Web3, I was like, dude, here's my chance to not just build something new and see if I have the chops to start over completely from scratch, just like you, Jay Chains. And I'm like, but now I actually get to serve an audience of people who shoot videos, or maybe they edit videos, or maybe they're producing videos and find their place in Web3. And there's all these different jobs. There's so many different things that are available out there. So Shredditor is my giving back, just like Sean Cannell did to me. He's actually the guy that I've heard for the first time use the word Shredditor. And it's to just build a community of people that want to come in here and flex their skills, learn new stuff, and find their place in Web3. So There you go.
Nice.
That's what it is.
Love it, man. Give Chris a follow. And definitely check out Shredder. I love that idea, man. And you got to think about how many people became content creators, or at least, you know, maybe got the wheels rolling on it, you know, in the last year or so, or last, you know, couple years since the pandemic began. So I'm very, very confident that it's going to be a very successful community. So kick some ass, brother.
I will do it. And you know what? Some Shredder out there needs to make a badass J Chains background, some NFT artist. Get with this man. Make some cool art for all these live streaming channels, and that'll be yet another thing that we talk about, the opportunities there for artists and all that. So, all right, I'm gonna go. You're awesome.
All right, man. It's a build market. Go take Couch Chris and get in the studio and get some shit.
I'll change the jammies into something else.
Put your work pants.
See you in a bit.
All right, man. See you. Oh man, you know, it's cool to have like really cool friends in this industry that you know, participate and have a good time, and it doesn't matter. Like, you know, Turbo popped in, Chris popped in. I love this. This is definitely a better scenario than not doing anything at all today. So I appreciate you guys both popping in. Anybody, if you are interested, I did post in the chat. I can do it again, so it is closer here. That is the StreamYard link right there. So it is posted. It looks like I posted on YouTube and on Twitch. So if you are interested in hopping up and being on camera, asking a question, saying something, whatever, that's your chance. Click it, and I'll bring you on in. So let's just look through a couple headlines really quick, just you know, because we can. And if we're going to be a little bit of a news show today, that's all right. All right, let's bring up, share the screen here. All right. Forbes will be using the Sandbox to roll out its metaverse hub. Will Sand profit from it? Interesting. I assume that Sand will profit from something with Forbes. That would just make sense. The Sandbox is looking to spice things up in the metaverse, and one of the strategies it aims to use to achieve its goal is through strategic partnerships. The blockchain network just announced a rather unusual partnership with Forbes. So, you know, that seems to me like a harmless partnership. A not harmless partnership. We were talking about this the other day, was the partnership with MetaMask and PayPal. Definitely don't like that. Definitely don't like that. And why I don't like that is, you got to remember, you know, there was the whole IP address thing with MetaMask. Also, there's the issue with PayPal, and, you know, the things that they were trying to sneak in their terms of service. And then, you know, they decided to, oh no, we made a mistake. And then it went back in there. And then now we know, you know, about, you know, small transactions being, you know, reported to the IRS of $600 or more. So to me, that sounds like a shade ball, slimy partnership. Don't want anything to do with PayPal or MetaMask moving forward. So that's my personal opinion. That is my choice to do. You can do whatever you want, but no longer will I ever use MetaMask after something like that. It doesn't sit right with me. If you guys got any comments about that, make sure you drop it down in the comment section below. This is so weird. I just want you guys to talk to me. I don't want you to have to drop a comment. So if you got, come on, just come up. Someone click that link, head onto the studio. And if not, maybe we'll shut this thing down in a little bit here. You know, it was nice to chat with Chris and Turbo. Let's see what else we got here. Let me throw up. Here we go. Load that in there. Don't be shy. Drop your comments in the chat. Get in the chat. Let's go. All right. Got another headline in here. New York regulator orders banks to apply for permission before engaging with crypto. What? Does anybody know anything about crypto here? You don't need permission. It is permissionless. That's one of the key fundamentals. And so, man, I get New York's got that stupid bit license, right? And so that is what it is. But like, come on, like, we can't regulate into oblivion. And so I don't think that people need to apply for permission to engage with anything crypto. What is this going to say? The New York Department of Financial Services, the NYDFS, has extended its grip on the attempt to control the crypto sector by unveiling new guidelines targeting the involvement of banks in digital currencies. In particular, they've released a new guideline requiring banks to operate in the state to apply for advance permission Before they engage in cryptocurrency-related initiatives, the agency said the guidelines also affect third-party agents affiliated with the banks alongside branches and agencies of foreign banking entities under its jurisdiction. Dumb. I just, crypto is permissionless, and just you guys got to remember that, and these regulators need to understand that, and we can try to put into some things into play, but stifling the innovation of it is pretty dumb. And here is the top signal. Excuse me, this is not a top signal. This is a buy signal. Jim Cramer issuing a stark warning about Binance, saying, get all your crypto. And we're all saying get your crypto off the centralized exchanges. But I think, Binance is probably going to end up being just fine. But anytime Jim Cramer speaks out against something, you know what to do, guys. You just do the opposite. So if he's telling you to sell, you buy. It's Jimmy Cramer. We love Jim. He's an excitable guy. I love when he goes on his rants. And that's not a joke. Let's take a look at the ETH chart really quick. I told you earlier, we had a good couple days. Yesterday was our first negative day, red day in 2 days. But look at today. Oosh. ET, ouch. It looks like we had a high of about almost 1,300. Wick down to about 1194. So that was a big drop. We had been saying a couple days ago, it looks like we had been really on a cliffhanger, right? Things had been extending out with really no movement in one way or the other. So we kind of figured it was going to be moving up, and then look what happened. It went up and then boom, down. And who knows what it's going to do now, right? We'll see where all this is going. The people that are still calling for like $600 Ethereum, back in my MetaMoney days, like that's what I was looking for. That was the sweet spot. That was the juicy entry level for what I would have said at that point was the absolute bottom. So if we do go, if we do have another, major drawdown, a 50% drawdown from here, that would take us like right into that range. Is it going to happen? I have absolutely no idea. And I think at this point, I'm not even going to pretend to think that, I know, just because, with what happened with the FTX thing and, where the contagion, if there's anything else that ends up being fallout from that or whatever, we'll see where it goes. But guys, all you can do is start DCAing, because at some point this thing will go back up. And that's the most important thing. All right. If anybody, hey, Carmen Crypto GM, thank you for popping in. We moved the show over to YouTube today because the Twitter sphere, the Twitter Spaces decided against. But what I don't understand is, how do some people have access? Is it the phone that you're on? I couldn't get onto my computer. And I had a couple different phones. Some of them actually show the Twitter Space logo at the bottom. Some of them do not, depending on what account I'm in. You just can't get in anything. You get that this little message right there: unable to join this space. Spaces isn't available on this device yet, but we're working on it. Check out at Twitter Spaces to stay up to date. No go. We ain't got nothing, but we are here, and I appreciate you guys hopping over here. Let's take a look at CoinMarketCap, see what's happening with the markets today. Again, we showed you the ETH chart. It did look like it was red, pretty good red. And as we go down, we are red all the way. Let's take a look and see if anything is doing anything positive. OKB, Toncoin, Immutable X. I mean, none of the nothing that I have in my nothing that I have in my wallet is in green today. But it is what it is, right? Like that's just a buying opportunity. Let's see who's down the most. Let's see what would be some, in my opinion. I mean, Doji's going to go back up, so that, at some point you'll get that 15% back. Internet computer, I'll tell you what. We'll see what's going to go on that Sandbox. This, to me, I don't understand why the Sandbox coin is so cheap. What is the circulating supply? 1.5 billion out of 3 billion. It's not a whole ton. I feel like there should be more. Whoa, Carmen got rugged 4 times yesterday. that like I talked very highly of Twitter and Spaces, and listen, it'll all get figured out. I'm sure there are some disgruntled employees. There's a lot of changes. There's there's a lot of changes happening, so it'll get fixed. We'll be back. Everyone will get their thing back. But I know that there was a lot of outcry. A lot of people, same position as me, is I use Twitter Space at this point every day to engage with people in my community, people in other communities, and it's a big hit. But we'll figure it out. We'll be back. Everybody will be back. All right. Well, I think that pretty much runs it for the day today. We went through a couple articles. We looked at some prices. We looked at the ETH chart. Always love looking at the ETH chart. I've had these green lines on here now for, I want to say, this area. This is when I put these in here. No, this area. So it's staying in my little zone. I just look at this thing every day to kind of see where we're at, see where we're at in my headspace. What's up, Mikey? I like that, the information that I put there at a chart, like, we've kind of been staying in there. So, and I'm not a professional chartist. I just like to draw some lines and look at things based on experience over the last several years. If anybody wants to come up, hit that StreamYard link and let's talk about the Trump NFTs. I didn't go for it. I thought that was probably not the right move for me. If I'm going to spend some ETH, I want to spend it on something that I enjoy. I wasn't going to try to take a chance on flipping a Trump NFT. That's what it is. It is what it is, baby. All right. Well, if nobody wants to come up and talk about Trumpski and his NFT skis, $4.4 million, from what I understand, what he made on that, that's crazy. In like no time. It was like the fastest NFT sellout like since the bear market started, the build market, excuse me. That's something that I had read. Who knows if that was factual or not. But I didn't get in. Did you get in? Drop your comment below. What'd you think? I saw there was somebody, I forget who the Twitter account was, they posted, and he was like, I can't believe I've spent money on this. And it was, one of those, the Trump NFTs. So love him or hate him. He sold out a collection. He's doing better than most projects, I suppose. He did a good job of getting his Web3 community, and that's where we'll leave it. All right. Let's see. Let's throw on a little. Yeah, we're gonna take it out. Take it out with some. You know what? We're gonna do a different sound. Nope. Oh yeah. Here we go. This one gets a little going. All right, guys. Well, today is Friday. That means it is pizza night in my house tonight. I got my in-laws coming in town. We are going to be celebrating Christmas for my daughter this weekend. So very, very excited to spend some time with the fam this weekend. I hope you guys get a chance to do the same. It is the end of the year. It is the holiday season. So if you get the opportunity, call someone that you love. Call someone that maybe you haven't talked to in a while. Say hello. Wish them a happy holiday, happy New Year. And maybe try to we don't want to onboard people anymore. We want to call it invite them. Invite them into your Web3 journey. Try to get somebody in this holiday season that you think could benefit from being a part of a community. Whether it's a community like this or another community that you're in, it doesn't matter. We just need to start bringing more people in, and that's how this whole ecosystem evolves and gets bigger and bigger. So make sure that you guys do something also for your mental health this weekend. I like to make sure that my feet touch the grass and my nose goes into the sky and I breathe some fresh air. So do that for yourself if you can, and we will be back on Monday. Hopefully Twitter Space is up. If not, we'll do this YouTube thing, and I know we'll be able to get more people up. And if we got to just do this until Space is back, hey, we're gonna do it. The show will go on. So have yourself a great weekend. Love you guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining. And if you did pop up and chat with me, thank you so much, Turbo and Chris. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Adios.